I'm legally insane. And my wife left me and took the kids. Thanks a lot, Karen. But I got the last laugh in the end. You know why I got the last laugh? Because she didn't take my Nintendo Wii games. And guess what? You are watching part 8 of my brand new Nintendo Wii game prices are going up series, where I discuss 100 Nintendo Wii games where the prices, guess what? Yeah, they're going up. Coming up with 100 games is no easy task. So there's different tiers of rarity and how high the prices can go. If you don't like the list, come up with your own list of 100. I guarantee you can't do it. That's why you're here. We've already gone through 24, and I haven't even scratched the surface yet. These are in no particular order. I'm saving some of the best for last. We haven't even gotten into some of the best games yet. Sure, we touched on a few. Rhythm Heaven Fever, still climbing. Going to continue to climb. Very rare, very expensive. But there's a lot more hidden gems coming down the pipe. The entire point of this series is actually to find undervalued hidden gems. To get those hidden gems and rare games before they become expensive. Before the market wakes up. Because that's what happens with hidden gems and rare games of all consoles, all the retro consoles. The Nintendo Wii is no different. We got 76 games left on this list. So let's get started. Game number 25. This right here is Baroque, the remake of the 1998 Sega Saturn Baroque. Also available on the PS2. However, there are differences. Under normal circumstances, the Wii version is often called the poor man's version because it's always cheaper. Baroque on the Wii is no different. It's cheaper than the PS2 counterpart. The PS2 just happens to be more collectible. That's why. The Wii is an ignored console compared to the PS2. I mean, the PS2 is the elephant in the room. It cannot be ignored. It's becoming more collectible than the NES. So yes, of course, Baroque will be more expensive on the PS2. However, this is the better version, and for many games, the Nintendo Wii version is actually superior. And we'll get into that. The game itself is an absolute hardcore roguelike, dark fantasy RPG.
Baroque. It describes twisted fantasies. It is not simply a warping of the mind. It physically distorts the body as well. A world where these twisted beings roam the wastelands is born from the gigantic disaster known as the Blaze. People cling to their own Baroques and live on.
So the game is often bashed for its gameplay, the combat system, and its difficulty. But that's not where the game shines. It's all about the story. The unique twist is that you're supposed to die. And you are supposed to die a lot. And, I mean, even if you don't want to die a lot, you are still going to die a lot. And you have to die in order to unlock and reveal the story. That's its unique progression system. You literally have to die in order to progress. The game is not for everyone. It's known for being notoriously difficult. But you also have to understand this game came out at a time when roguelikes were not popular. The original being 1998 Sega Saturn. The remakes being 2007 PS2 in Japan, 2008 released here in North America, Wii and PS2. Even in 2008, roguelikes were not popular. Souls-like Diathon games were also not popular. Not yet. The Souls-like games, because this is compared to Souls-like game as well, because you're going to die a lot. And I'm not a particularly large fan of these types of games, and that's why this game is not for everyone. But times are changing, and they have changed, and so is the perception and popularity of Baroque. The reason this game is going up in value and will continue to climb in value is because every single week, every single month, every year that passes, this game's fame as a cult classic grows. This is a game market that used to bash this game quite heavily and reviewed it very poorly, but times are changing. But first, let's look at the chart. This is an absolutely beautiful chart and perfect timing for this video because this game just hit all-time highs. Literally at all-time highs right now today. Previous all-time high was around $40. That $40 has been resistance. It's bounced off that $40 level about twice. This is US dollars. I'll switch to US here. Currently price charts for about 43.17 CIB. US dollars. And that's if you can get it for that price. And that's if you can get it in good condition for that price. Price charting is just a guideline. Oftentimes, and most of the time, in fact, I have always found that you will pay more than the price charting price for a good condition copy. In fact, I just bought a game earlier today and I paid significantly higher than the price charting price because that was the only way I could get a good condition copy. And plus, there wasn't much available in the first place. Recent sold listing, $60. Probably good condition. $47.99, good condition. Probably. Pristine. There you go. Pristine condition. So, you might end up paying a premium. You might have accepted or best offer. Yeah, best offer accepted. Oh yeah, so, not a bad price, really. You would have had to pay shipping on top of that, though. Supposedly this is pristine, like new. Had our initial COVID move roughly 2020, peaked out 2021, dipped down to a new bottom, a new floor, always higher than the previous floor. This is quite common, and it appears that we are making a new move today, and we may have broken out previous resistance at $40. So who knows where this thing could land. $40 might end up being the new bottom, the new floor, the new support level. We'll see. And keep in mind, this is the cheap version. Because the Wii version is still not the sought-after version, even though it should be. The PS2 it's riding the coattails of the PS2 version, which is the more collectible console. Currently price charting for $66.97 USD. Still climbing. Straight line up. Straight line up since roughly 2017. Almost 10 years. So do you think it would be a good idea to buy your games cheap? If you know that there's a game that you like, a nice hidden gem, such as Baroque, and you knew about it back in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, September 2022, $34.50 you could have paid. It's doubled since then. Well, the untrained mind would look at that and say, well, I'm not paying $34.50. I'm buying at the high. I'm buying at the all-time high. Why would I pay that? Oh, look, it's dipping. It's going to crash. It's going to go right back down to 2019, 2018 levels. Look at that. It's dipping. December 2020. Well, the untrained eye is also retarded. That's why you don't listen to retards. You come to this channel, I have an IQ of exactly 69. I think I know a thing or two. I've been collecting games since I was in diapers. And I'm still wearing diapers today. Adult diapers. I graduated from baby diapers to adult diapers. You think I know a thing or two? How many people do you know walk around wearing adult diapers all day? How many collectors out there do you know, right here on YouTube, in person, friends and family? How many of those collectors wear adult diapers all day? If the answer's none, well, maybe they're retarded. And that's why I'm here to help you. I'm here to give you the information that nobody else has. Look at that chart. I want you to look at it for a couple of minutes.
It seems you have difficulty speaking. Well, even though you are flawed, you are fortunate to even be in this shape. Is your memory damaged as well? You must learn what you must accomplish. Do you understand? Head for the bottom floor of the Neuro Tower. That is your mission.
So I want to point something out. Reviews for Baroque back in the day were not great. They were not good. Here's the reviews from the time of release. Pretty low scores. You're looking at 58%, 53%. So between 50 and 60 out of 100 split between the PS2 and the Wii version. So none of them got particularly good reviews. You need to be aware of these reviews because now I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show you that times are changing. And the chart already proves it. The chart proves that this game is becoming a cult classic. But now I'm going to show you other evidence. Even right now in 2025 and 1 year ago, 2024, people are making new review videos and new videos about this game. Here's one from 1 year ago from Dungeon Chill. 233,000 subscribers, 1.4 million views. 1.4 million. This is a 1 hour video, an in-depth, deep dive into this game. And don't let the title fool you. You might be thinking, well, this is a video bashing this game, because that's what all the older videos from 10, 15 years ago were. The OG review videos, they all bashed the hell out of this game. That was the common thing. That was the cool thing to do. Well, this guy, you watch that video. He's not exactly bashing it. He acknowledges the flaws. But believe me, this ain't no video bashing it. This is a video showing you that the market sentiment has changed. This has gone from absolute garbage to a complete hidden gem, and it's becoming a cult classic. And he ain't the only one making reviews. These are all recent. 6 months ago, Eric Landon RPG. 103,000 subscribers. Sure, the view count wasn't very high. Blame the algorithm for that. I watched that particular review 6 months ago. And you know what? This is his second review. He previously made a video about this game, and he bashed the hell out of it, and this is the updated video, and guess what? He ain't bashing it no more. He now respects it for what it is. A hidden gem. The artistry behind the madness. The twisted and insane story that evolves. He praises the game now, and like I said, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's not for everyone. Another video 1 year ago. 34,000 views. These are brand new modern reviews. Baroque, the grotesque, distorted, diluted roguelike. Roguelikes are popular now. I don't make the rules. I don't even like roguelikes. 99% of them I don't even like. This is like the only one that I would ever play. Off the top of my head, this is like the number one. And the price ain't getting any cheaper. 2 months ago, here's a commenter right here. He says, I'd pick this up, but I'm too Baroque. Because the price ain't cheap, buddy. He's probably looking at the PS2 version. Should have picked it up 5 years ago. Should have picked it up 10 years ago. That's why I'm telling you, buy your games on the cheap before the prices go up. And price ain't coming down, buddy. You think the price is coming down? You think it's going to go back down to $20? I highlighted this comment because this particular commenter is comparing this game to Fear and Hunger, which is an absolutely amazing roguelike, I guess you could say. Very similar you're going to die 10 million times, but you're going to get better every time you play. That type of thing. Fear and Hunger, PC RPG, very brutal. Fear and Hunger 2 especially, oh my gosh. Yeah, just brutally difficult, unfair most of the time, completely unfair, but people love it. And it's very, very gruesome and very violent. Very, very violent. Like rated R violence. Okay, so last thing I want to point out, this is why the Wii version is better. They had time to improve it. So it is the definitive version. It has improved resolution and lighting, which was very common for a lot of Wii versions of the same PS2 counterpart. Cleaner menus and user interface. So graphics and presentation improved. The story has also been improved. Small changes, but they're significant. Expanded story elements, additional dialogue, and clearer explanations. It also has balance adjustments. So the game is more balanced, which means a little bit easier, especially in the early levels. They have quality of life improvements, and it's generally more approachable for new players. Another example of balancing fixes are the item economy is more forgiving. In the Wii version, healing and utility items appear a bit more frequently, which means fewer runs. And more specifically, fewer runs that end purely due to bad luck. That RNG is not going to kill you as much. So you're going to lose of your own merit and not because of bad RNG. There's a lot of changes. The point is, the Wii version is the better version. Let's move on to the next game. That was game number 25. Now for game number 26, one of the rarest, if not the absolute rarest game on the console. It's definitely up there in terms of pure rarity. There's a difference between price and rarity. It's not the most expensive game, but it is one of the rarest. Let's Sing 2016. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that game is absolute garbage. Shovelware karaoke trash. Who in their right mind would buy that game? Why is that game rare? Ain't nobody want that game. There ain't no way that game's rare. That's what you're thinking. If you're an untrained retard, that's what you're thinking. If you have an IQ less than 69, I already know that's what you're thinking. That's why I'm here to help you. We're going to increase your IQ, bring it up to my level, 69.
That's what I do all day long. That's what I do.
Chart's looking good. Very expensive. $60.89 Canadian CIB. USD, you're looking at about $44.50. $50 flat. Couple of sold listings going into the $60 range. Doesn't sell very often, not like there's a lot of copies available either, though. This game is for the collectors. This game is single-handedly the most infamous and most notorious, and very likely the rarest game on the entire Wii console. So why is that? Why is this shovelware game so rare? Well, let me answer it for you. And I'll use one word. Big ol' naked, uncensored titty. Somebody is going to jail. 25 years locked up with a guy named Chocolate Thunder for showing little 6-year-old Timmy a bunch of uncensored big old titty in a game for 6-year-olds.
FBI, open up!
6-year-old shovelware karaoke game. Little Timmy was playing this game with his mother. True story. And they both had to witness the horrors. The unexpected horrors, because this was an accident. This was never supposed to be released. This was never supposed to happen. Somebody messed up on the Wii version. It's an exclusive problem to the Wii. for this game. And they accidentally or purposely uploaded the uncensored John Legend music video for a song called All of Me. And it's called All of Me because there's a lot of big old naked titty. That's why it's called All of Me. You see everything. And you cannot find this uncensored version anywhere else. You can't even find it on the internet. Because it's I mean, it's not supposed to exist. Somebody uploaded the wrong file by mistake. I've talked about this game before, so I'll keep it short. I have a whole video about this scenario. But what happened was this game was recalled. It was pulled from store shelves almost as quickly as it came out. It's estimated that games were on store shelves for anywhere between 2 weeks to 1 month. Some people think it never even made it to store shelves and perhaps it was only sold online. I think it did make it to store shelves. Absolutely it did, but not for long. Somebody named Nintendo Tweezer uploaded this voluntary recall document. I believe this was thought to have been from Best Buy, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day, 2016. And he says about a month after the game's release, it was recalled across the country. They were claiming that the game was defective, but nobody believes them. And of course, it was voluntary. So if you had bought the game, they wanted you to return it. Defect Maximum Games has determined that due to an error in product assembly, supposedly, or allegedly, the game disc may not load properly. Yeah, okay. No, it loads properly, all right. Oh, yeah. It definitely loads properly, because I've tested it. I tested this to make sure that the nudity was, in fact, in the game. I did it for market research purposes. I watched the video on repeat multiple times in order to conduct my research. I did this for research purposes. Corrective action. Customers can return this game to Best Buy to obtain a full refund. Notice that they didn't offer a replacement because the game was never reprinted. They pulled it from store shelves as fast as it arrived and never bothered to reprint it. And I think it's because they were doing damage control. Number one, it's shovelware. You know, they weren't going to make much money anyway. So they're just cutting their losses. And I think they didn't want people to talk about this. They wanted to sweep this under the rug. And maybe they'd get in trouble from John Legend. You know, maybe the music companies involved would be some lawsuits involved. They wanted this to disappear. So this user then goes on to say that the general thought at the time was that the microphone that was included was crappy, and some people have stated that it probably was. Again, very likely a cover story. The flyer says the disc may not load, so it does not mention the microphone. The game became pretty hard to find due to the recall. And then he was snooping around on Amazon, only to find this review down here, and I verified it's still on Amazon to this day. You can go on there. If you plan to purchase this with your children, be advised that there is full torso nudity, big old titty, nipples, and all in the John Legend video. We were completely taken by surprise, and our young kids were horribly uncomfortable. If your kids are sensitive to this sort of thing, you might want to avoid that video. You know, if you're a parent, understandably, you don't want 6-year-old Timmy looking at a bunch of big old tits, 60-inch screen right in front of his face while he's trying to sing karaoke. And the tits show up more than once. It's not just one scene. In fact, somebody has screenshotted the scenes. So, yeah, like I said, I did my market research and I verified multiple times the accuracy of the uncensored video. So this has become a bit of a collector's item. It's for collectors. It's not for gamers. I mean, ain't nobody going to play karaoke. There is a more rare bundle version that came with the microphone. good luck getting that version, but that is the even more expensive and more sought after version if you can get the full on bundle. Okay, so that was game number 26. Now we're on to game number 27. Trauma Team, one of the best games on the entire Nintendo Wii. And even with the rave reviews this game got, it's still undervalued, and I'm going to tell you why.
Is everyone ready? Nurses, prep for surgery.
Blood pressure 60/34. GCS is 3.3. Blood type O+.
Vitals flat. Doctor!
Damn it! Hang in there. This is the final battle. Let's begin.
I'm starting the treatment at once. Let's end this war. I'll begin treating the affected area.
Idiot. Why didn't she notice before now? Hurry up with the AED! We need to keep this patient alive!
This is our fight now. We'll keep this place safe. I've never seen spinal ependymoma like this.
Let's put together the truth of what happened here.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Quit standing around! Get stable victims ready for transport!
This is the best version of Trauma Team, arguably, of the Trauma Team series. It's a whole series. It's also on the DS, and some of these games are rare. Others not so rare, and others kind of suck. But this is the best version, in my opinion. This is a surgeon simulator game mixed with a visual novel. This is the most expensive Trauma Center game on the Nintendo Wii, and it's one of the more expensive games in the series. There were 2 other Trauma games before it. There was Trauma Center New Blood, single player. That's going to be important in a moment. Only single player. Trauma Center Second Opinion was released in 2006. I guess this was the first one. New Blood was the second one. And Trauma Team was the third in the series on the Nintendo Wii. But those games haven't done much because they're not particularly good. I mean, they're good, but they're not great. Trauma Center Second Opinion is also single player. But Trauma Team was where they perfected the formula of this game. This hospital, CSI, house, doctor, medical style game, surgery, simulation mixed with a Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, visual novel. Excellent story, 10 out of 10 on the story game. And this is 2-player co-op in almost the entire campaign. 2-player co-op. And my understanding is you can play 2 different ways. You can play it so that you perform surgeries at the same time together, which is, I believe, the best way to play, or you can take turns. Being able to go through chaotic surgeries in 2-player co-op, I mean, that alone makes this a 10 out of 10 game.
Before you treat the other wounds, suture the closed one.
All right. Proceeding to the next wound.
Whoa, those are some nasty burns.
Good. It's been driven into the right point. Rock solid.
Hemostasis complete. Let's move on.
This isn't good.
In my opinion, it's the co-op that made this game what it is. And it's always commanded a high value, as you can see on the chart here. $20 US back in 2019? That's not bad. That's pretty expensive. Currently trades for 63.58 Canadian, while Trauma Team in US dollars trades for about 46.47. Recent sold listings getting at that $50 level. 3 sold listings recent times in the last 2 weeks, $50 plus shipping, right? Was that free shipping? I don't know. Sells $50 all day, $50 down here. Look at all these sold listings in December. Wow, this thing trades a lot. It sells a lot. Wow. Yeah. Even in November, a lot of sales. Okay, December abnormally high, perhaps due to Christmas. $70 sold, two $70 sold listings, mint disc. So yeah, you're going to pay up for condition. Trending higher and still climbing. Hit all-time highs back in September of 2024, so about 1 year ago. Might be looking to challenge those all-time highs as we speak. We'll see. Reviews at the time were, pretty good. 9 out of 10 from Eurogamer, 8 out of 10 from Game Informer, 8 out of 10 from GameSpot, IGN 7.5, Nintendo World Report 9 out of 10. Pretty good reviews, but the users, the real gamers, on average scored this thing even higher. 82 average on Metacritic from the, so-called professionals, 8.3 from the users. However, I want to point out that the users, especially in recent times, have given this thing absolutely monster numbers. A lot of 10s. The most recent reviews, a lot of 10s. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. The first 4 that I see are perfect 10s. Blue and Yellow says, I fully agree with another reviewer who compared the game to TV dramas. Playing the surgeons is like Grey's Anatomy, diagnostics is like The House, because there's different modes of how you play, different characters that you can be and whatnot. So there's the surgery, the diagnostics, just like House. I agree 100%. That's like your detective mystery that you're trying to solve. Forensics plays like an episode of CSI. It all culminates into one of the most intense and enjoyable Wii games I've ever played, with great comic-style graphics and backstories for each doctor that all combine in the end. This game is somewhat easier than the ones that came before it in the series, but makes up for it with story, intensity, and variety. And the 2-player co-op gaming, how about that? Nobody's mentioning that. It's also important to point out the DS versions. They're also going up. Shows you that the series in general is becoming more popular. It's becoming a cult classic. People are searching this game out. People that didn't know about this game is a hidden gem. Here's Trauma Center Under the Knife for the Nintendo DS. Look at that chart. Looking good. Trades for $25.50 US. That's 35 Canadian dollars. Recent sold listings, you're looking at $50 CIB. And this isn't even the rare version. You want to see the rare version? This is number 1 here. When did this come out? 2005. Trauma Center Under the Knife. Well, here's Trauma Center Under the Knife number 2. This is the rare one, and this is the more sought-after version. Came out in 2008. Atlas title yet again. Atlas titles back then were very collectible. They usually had limited print runs. They weren't printing 10 million copies, that's for sure. I also know for a fact that Trauma Team didn't sell as well as they thought it would, in Japan at least, which probably translates to the same in North America. It did. They thought it would sell better than it did, so it was disappointing. They knew they had a monster hit. I think they knew they had a good game. I don't know, not enough marketing, or outshined by other games. Perhaps it being a motion control Nintendo Wii game. I don't know. Maybe that didn't help. I don't know. The motion controls work great in this game. In fact, this is motion controls done to perfection on the Wii. This is not some, oh, it's so inaccurate, oh, it's broken, complete garbage, unplayable motion controls. No, they're good motion controls and they're very accurate. Trauma Center Under the Knife 2 trades for 91 Canadian dollars, if you can even get it for that price. Recent sold listing, December 22nd, $116. 67 US dollars CIB. Recent sold listings, 85 US dollars, 71.95, 70.91, 85. All-time highs were hit back in August of 2022, and you're pretty close to those same all-time highs today. I'm just saying that the Trauma Center series in general is becoming very collectible. The DS versions have proven that they're very collectible, and the Wii version, Trauma Team being the more better of the three games and the more collectible of the three. So if it is something that you're interested in, all I'm saying is you might want to look into it. You might not want to wait too long. The chart hasn't been overly exciting. It has been a slow and steady riser ever since that 2019 level. $15 in January of 2019. US. 46 US dollars today. Round up 50. But the pace of the rise has definitely slowed. We might even be in a trading range, kind of flatlining right now. But it's not always going to be like that. These things move in waves. Last game number 28. I'm going to fly through this one. Hear me out. Hear me out. Mario Super Sluggers. This is the second Mario baseball game.
Oh, what do we have here? Potassium, right?
Actually, your potassium is 2 carbons short. So...
Michael! So, Mario Super Sluggers, rated E for everyone.
I'm going to keep it short on this one because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I mean, this is a Nintendo Selects. This is greatest hits Nintendo game. Why would the price on this one go up? Ain't no way a Mario game, very common, is going up in value. Well, you need to understand a few things. Number one, the Mario baseball games are good games. The GameCube one, I believe the market has decided is the best version. The GameCube Mario is going up, and so is the Wii version. The Wii version is also a great game, and I think it's partly riding the coattails of the GameCube version. It's Mario Baseball. What more do you want me to tell you? Chart tells me all I need to know. This thing is climbing. Sure, we had the initial COVID move. Sure. Huge move, too, by the way. This was a $10 game. Mario Super Sluggers, $10 US dollars, November 2019. You could have had this thing. This thing was in the discount bins. Ain't nobody wanted Mario Sluggers. Same thing happened with the GameCube version, too, by the way. I paid $14.99 Canadian at EB Games back in the day when they were clearing out GameCube games. Even 10 out of 10 excellent GameCube games sat on the shelf, just like Mario Baseball. It sat on the shelf, nobody bought it. I went in there, I cleared them out. I bought a whole bunch of GameCube games back then. Chart looks good. I mean, this thing had a monster run right up until July 2021, $38.86 US. $40 US dollars. That's a very expensive game. For what this is, a Mario game trading, an old retro Nintendo Wii Mario game trading for $40, that ain't cheap. That's 55 Canadian dollars. Sold listings as high as 82 Canadian dollars in recent times. And I get that, this thing sells all day, every day. Look at this. I mean, that shows you how, one, common it is, but two, how popular it is. I can't even see sales data going below December 18th, which is what, 2 weeks ago? Because this thing sells so commonly. Wow, that is insane. So yeah, it peaked July 2021, dipped back down. Arguably, it's within a very large trading range if you count that as the top. So resistance, $40 US resistance. It has not broken that resistance yet, but I would argue it's still uptrending. These are higher highs and higher lows. So we're not dipping down to that $23 level anymore. So we're getting higher lows, and these highs appear to also be getting higher. Because look at this. January 2024, 37.45 was the peak. Hadn't quite surpassed the old high, but now we're getting an even higher high. So now we've reached 38.81 just recently. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, maybe we're stuck in this trading range for a while. The point is, this game ain't getting any cheaper, and it's growing in popularity. And you have to look at the GameCube version to understand the context and the popularity of Mario Baseball. This used to be a game nobody wanted. Nobody cared for it, despite it being one of the better baseball games ever made. Mario Baseball on the GameCube, so it's called Mario Superstar Baseball. The Wii version is called Mario Super Sluggers. So they're both, it's a sequel to this baseball game, but they changed the title a little bit. This thing also had a massive run. You used to be able to get it for $20 US, currently trading for $66.73. Sold listings going as high as $75. And once again, I can only see sales data back to December 13th because it is very common and it sells all day, every day. And even with that, the demand is so high that the price is going up. Chart looks very similar. We're hitting higher highs and higher lows. The world's slowest uptrend, I would argue, right there. If I could draw a line, this is still uptrending. Resistance at about $75 US. Canadian dollars, it's going for about $100. Absolutely insane. And this is the game, like I said, nobody wanted this. When I bought this at EB Games, $14.99. CIB. Nobody wanted it. Sat on the shelf. Clearance bin. I bought a whole bunch of really good, solid games. And that would have been back in 2018, maybe? I don't remember. Anywhere between 2016 and 2018. Nobody was buying this game. So, well, it's popular now. It was, it wasn't super popular back in the day, but it's gaining popularity. Similar to Super Mario Strikers, the GameCube version is also known to be far superior to the Nintendo Switch version, obviously. And the price reflects that. This was also a game that was mostly ignored back in the day. Just because a game says Mario on the cover doesn't mean the game cannot go up in value. Does not mean that the game is not a hidden gem. Maybe it was ignored by the market when it came out. Maybe despite the high sales it got, maybe it should have got double the sales it got. And when that happens, when people that missed out on Mario Baseball, Mario Super Sluggers, 10 years ago, they go fishing for it later. When they go looking for the Nintendo Wii games to add to their collection, they go looking for hidden gems, they go looking for cheap games, undervalued games. They're going to stumble across games like this. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to have a new Patreon video coming out shortly, so please do consider joining the Patreon. I post exclusive content. I'm going to be filming the next video shortly. I know my Patreons have been waiting for the next video to come out. I know I've left you in suspense. I've been advertising this thing for a while now. I post new content every month. buddy, I'm telling you, I'm going to be filming this either tomorrow night or the night after. And I'm going to have that bad boy posted up for you. Full-on episodes on the Patreon. Full-length episodes. Exclusive for you to show my support to those who show support to the channel. But that's not the only way you can show support to the channel. All you have to do is subscribe, smash the like button, and leave a comment. You don't even have to do all three. You just pick one. Do one of the three. And guys, I honestly, I do appreciate everyone that subscribes to the Patreon. And honestly, I appreciate every single person that leaves a comment. Because that's the only way I can get feedback on if I'm making good content or not. I don't have a script, buddy. I'm rambling here. I don't even know how long I've been talking. Maybe it's been 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know until I go and edit the dang video and then post it. I rely on your comments for feedback. Constructive feedback, and many of you do provide that, and I appreciate that. And thank you very much for everyone that does support the channel, subscribes, and leaves a comment. Means a lot, guys. And I'll see you again next week.
Pull up a chair, it's the round table zone. Diapers on tight, yes, podcast thrown. Snare snaps crisp, baseline grown. We legally insane, rare games get shown. Got cartridges stacked, golden like a grail. Stories on deck, off the rails, never stale. Controller in hand, we ready to wail. Grab your snacks and your juice, set sail. Diaper time, strap it in fast. Round table spin, rare games to the last. Crazy talk, crazy play, never outclass. Diaper up now, this party's broadcast. Yo, pixelated dreams and them polygons gleam. Rare like the games, we the kings of the stream. Couch co-op vibes, we a player 2 team. Joystick legends, it's a retro themed scene. A swing beat pop, horns blowing off steam. Insane like banjo in a kazoo dream. Diaper up quick, man, don't lose your scheme. Round table reigns supreme, extreme. Diaper time, strap it in fast. Round table spin, rare games to the last. Crazy talk, crazy play, never outclass. Diaper up now, this party's broadcast. It's a console confessional, rare is the vibe. We talking deep dives, memory revive. Buttons get mashed, legends collide. Diapers locked in, don't let them slide. Round table glow, it's the podcast spark. Diapers on tight, we ignite in the dark. So grab a seat, let the madness embark. We legally insane, rare games leave a mark.